Hey, my Tai, I'm gonna make some pizza. You know where the flour is? Flour what? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We've been on a roll with RJ's pizza recipes and, well, today's no different. Pizza and donuts are right up my alley, so finding a way to make simple mini pizzas made for meal prepping just might be one of the best ideas that we've ever come across. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and give this video a like. We're always wanting to try and reach the anabolic hearts and minds of others. So if you're ready to dive into this recipe and see what these meal prepping pizzas are all about, sit back and let's get into the recipe. Now to start off this recipe, we're gonna go ahead and create the base. And for the base, we're gonna need 56 grams of a fat-free cream cheese. Then we've got 46 grams of liquid egg whites. And then for additional flavoring, we're gonna go ahead and use a few spanks of crushed red peppers. Then we've got 1 gram of oregano. And then as RJ says, salt is optional, so we'll go ahead and give it a little dash of salt. So for the first step, we're gonna go ahead and take all of the ingredients for the crust and then throw them into a bowl, give them a good mix, and go ahead and see how this crust turns out. I've never tried this type of crust before, so this should be really interesting. Guys, I can tell you right off the bat, this recipe is super simple when it comes to making the crust. And I gotta say, really, it beats making any type of dough any time of day. But outside of that, we're gonna go ahead and take our mixture and then pour it into one of our baking trays and then toss it in the oven at 350. So we just pulled the 3 pizza crusts out of the oven. Now we're gonna go ahead and slap on 63 grams of pizza sauce onto each pizza crust. Now after you've applied the pizza sauce, we're gonna go ahead and throw on 56 grams of our fat-free mozzarella cheese, followed by 15 grams of our turkey pepperonis. Alright guys, we are finally back after having these bodybuilding meal prepped pizzas sitting in the oven for about 15 minutes on its second cycle. And you know what? All I can say is that this place definitely smells like a freaking pizzeria once again. But with that being said, you guys know the rules. Let's get into the 3 categories: anabolics, taste, and craving. So in terms of anabolics, let's take a look at the total calories and the macronutrients for one of these bodybuilding meal prep pizzas. Now, in terms of total calories, we are looking at a total of 319 total calories with a macro breakdown of 3 grams of fat, holy smokes, 52 grams of protein, and 21 grams of carbs. That's insane, like 52 grams of protein in one pizza alongside a fat ratio of 3 grams and carbs 21 grams, that's insane. Now with that being said, I know a lot of us have grown to know and love a lot of the frozen pizzas that we typically find at our regular grocery store. Brands like Red Baron, DiGiorno, there's a ton out there, especially with personal deep dish size pizzas. So now when we take a look at the total calories for a Red Baron personal size deep dish pizza, we're looking at a total calorie breakdown of 430 calories, fat 10 grams, protein 15 grams, and carbs 46 grams. I mean, right off the bat right there, I'm sure you can tell the numbers are significantly different. Now for me, when I take a look at the total calorie and the macro breakdown for RJ's recipe versus Red Baron's, I mean, it's a pretty stark contrast in terms of numbers across the board. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and rate this as a solid 9.5. I know this recipe has been out for a short period of time, but if you've tried this recipe already, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it and if whether or not you could see this actually fitting into your daily nutrition. I can tell you right off the bat that this recipe, based off of the numbers alone, is one that I would highly look forward to including in my nutritional and just daily regimen. It gives you a strong protein option, and on top of that, really gives you the room to be able to fit in other types of carbs and fats depending on the foods that you like throughout the day. So for me, from an anabolic standpoint, this is a huge win-win situation. So at first glance right here, everything looks pretty normal in terms of melted mozzarella, pepperonis. In terms of overall weight, I gotta say this thing is pretty hefty, but otherwise, let's go ahead and go into a taste test. Sweet glory. Oh my goodness. Cheers, boys. This is freaking delicious. We're giving this a star. Oh, hot damn. Holy smokes. This is gonna be really hard for me to just not finish this on the spot. So here's what that crust actually looks like. And to be honest, I actually kind of think that this comes out more like a quiche. And that's probably more so because there is a little bit of egg product in there, but you really don't get that texture. I gotta say, RJ, this recipe is definitely a banger.
Yeah, primo to the extremo.
This is just absolutely gorgeous. In terms of just overall taste, texture, the consistency, the flavor, everything just really hits on all points. There's no flavor or essence of egg whites at all. There's so much seasoning and flavor to this that you literally could eat this every day, and I probably guarantee you that you probably wouldn't get sick and tired of this. There's so much opportunity to really dress this up and down. You could probably add some vegetables to this, probably create a buffalo style pizza as well, which would be pretty epic if you love buffalo. I made 3 here. I should have just made all 5. From a time standpoint, this is gonna cut out so much time for you guys. One possible drawback that folks might or may not get hung up on is that there is no traditional crust. So if you're expecting a bite like a traditional pizza gives you, you won't get that in the crust. But otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and rate this as a solid 9.5. This is absolute pure joy. Now, is this gonna satisfy your craving? You better believe it. This recipe will definitely hit on all points in terms of flavor, consistency, and overall texture. And on top of that, from a time standpoint, this is extremely efficient. And for those of you who are craving pizza throughout the week, this is a great way to portion out your meals, get your fill of pizza in, and pay attention to your overall total calories and macros. So for that, we're gonna go ahead and give this a solid 10. Now I know for the last few recipes, we've been giving out a ton of different 10s and 9s, but these have been all strong recipes that I highly encourage you guys to check out. But this one for sure, giving it a star, and now you got a strong option to meal prep your pizza and stay on top of your anabolic game. So for that, we're gonna go ahead and give this a solid 10. Well guys, we just wrapped up the 3 categories, anabolics, taste, and craving, for a total score of 9.6. Now, if you're anything like me and are back-to-back in meetings or just have an extremely busy schedule on a day-to-day basis, this recipe is definitely gonna be one for you. From a time standpoint, that's the biggest thing that really shocked me in terms of creating these 3 pizzas. I mean, I could have easily just created the 2 additional, but you know what? That's just how the cookie crumbles. But I gotta say, I will definitely be taking this with me in my nutrition game and my daily regimen in terms of meal prepping. This is just an absolute amazing recipe set. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close out this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in to another video. And if you enjoyed the pizza gains that we talked about today, make sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe. But otherwise, guys, let's go ahead and wrap it up. Stay safe, stay swole. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.